you'd like to follow along with me, we're going to start out in the book of Matthew, chapter 13. I'm going to be reading tonight from the New American Standard Version. In chapter 13, there's some parables there from Jesus. And where we're at here, he's just told the parable of the tares. But I'm not going to look at the parable itself tonight. I'm going to be starting out with the description or explanation that Jesus gives of the parable. And that's chapter 13, verse 36. Then he left the multitudes and went into the house, and his disciples came to him, saying, "Explain to us the parable of the tares of the field." And he answered and said, "The one who sows the good seed is the Son of Man, and the field is the world, and as for the good seed, these are the sons of the kingdom, and the tares are the sons of the evil one. And the enemy who sowed them is the devil, and the harvest is the end of the age, and the reapers are angels. Therefore, just as the tares are gathered up and burned with fire, so shall it be at the end of the age. The Son of Man will send forth his angels, and they will gather out of his kingdom all stumbling blocks and all those who commit lawlessness, and will cast them into the furnace of fire. In that place there shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Then the righteous will shine forth as the sun in the kingdom of their Father. He who has ears, let him hear." Verse 42, where he's talking about the furnace of fire, that is hell. It's a place of such pain that you are crying out from pain and grinding and gritting your teeth because you're in such pain. Satan is so good at what he does. He has convinced people in this world today that hell does not exist. He has convinced people that a God that is so good and so loving won't send them to a place like this. But we know better. But even so, as Christians, our journey can be so long sometimes, we don't know how long. He can sometimes convince us to even give up on our journey there, to heaven. And so I'd like to turn now to the book of Revelation, chapter 21, and we're going to start at verse 10. And he carried me away in the Spirit to a great and high mountain, and showed me the holy city, Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, having the glory of God. Her brilliance was like a very costly stone, as a stone of crystal clear jasper. It had a great and high wall with 12 gates, and at the gates 12 angels, and names were written on them, which are those of the 12 tribes of the son of Israel. There were 3 gates on the east, and 3 gates on the north, and 3 gates on the south, and 3 gates on the west. And the wall of the city had 12 foundation stones, and on them were the 12 names of the 12 apostles of the Lamb. And the one who spoke with me had a gold measuring rod to measure the city, and its gates and its wall. And the city is laid out as a square, and its length is as great as the width, and he measured the city with the rod, 1,500 miles. Its length and width and height are equal. And he measured its wall, 72 yards, according to human measurements, which are as also angelic measurements. And the material of the wall was jasper, and the city was pure gold, like glass. The foundation stones of the city were well adorned with every kind of precious stone. The first foundation stone was jasper, the second sapphire, the third chalcedony, the fourth emerald, the fifth sardonyx, the sixth sardius, the seventh chrysolite, the eighth beryl, the ninth topaz, the 10th chrysoprase, the 11th jacinth, the 12th amethyst. And the 12 gates were 12 pearls. Each one of the gates was a single pearl. And the street of the city was pure gold, like transparent glass. And I saw no temple in it, for the Lord God, the Almighty, and the Lamb are its temple. And the city has no need of the sun or of the moon to shine upon it, for the glory of God has illumined it, and its lamp is the Lamb. And the nations shall walk by its light, and the kings of the earth shall bring their glory into it. And in the daytime, for there shall be no night there, its gates shall never be closed, and they shall bring the glory and the honor of the nations into it. And nothing unclean, and no one who practices abomination and lying shall ever come into it, but only those whose names are written in the Lamb's book of life. Now that's the place we want to go. That's the place we're striving for. And that's the place Satan does not want you to go. But if that's not enough for you, chapter 22, verse 7. And behold, I am coming quickly. That is a promise of Jesus. He will take you to heaven if you do his will. So tonight you've got a choice, heaven or hell. But to get to heaven, your name has to be written in his book of life. If it's not, we can help you get it there. And we'd be glad to now as we stand and sing.